thinking about purchasing a new home? Hi, I'm Wes Brooks, Associate Broker with RE/MAX Encore. You may have some questions about the process. This video will take just a few minutes, and I'll be covering some of the most typical elements as well as some of the more challenging areas of purchasing a new home. The first thing you'll want to do is line up your team. Who makes up your team, you may ask? Well, your initial team will consist of 3 specific members: your financial support, your realtor, and your home inspector. First, your lender, who may also be known as your mortgage broker or financial advisor. You'll need to know how much you can afford and how much you may need for your down payment. Second, your realtor, also known as your counselor or representing agent or associate broker, such as myself. And third, your home inspector. You'll want a reputable home inspection company who is able to check all of the mechanicals, structural conditions, air quality, perform water testing, and supply you with a better understanding of the condition of the home that you're about to purchase. I suggest finding the very best individuals for these jobs, full-time professionals. You do not want to hire the Three Stooges or hire a part-time agent, lender, or an inspector with no true housing experience for your team. Of course, I have many contacts that can assist you in each of these areas. I can offer you the names and numbers of many lenders and inspectors, and of course, if you already have these contacts, you're already on your way. We can call this team building as step number 1. Step 2 is creating your criteria. Knowing early what you're specifically looking for in your new home helps tremendously. The better defined your search criteria is, the more productive the search will be. So I'll ask you, is a basement important versus a crawl space or a slab? Perhaps a walkout or a daylight basement? How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you need? Do you need a garage? Are you looking for a subdivision lot or an acreage? What specific communities are you looking in? What is important and what is not? Confirming this information with your agent will allow your agent a way of selecting the correct properties to supply to you. You'll receive emails with a list of properties. Every time a new property hits the market, you'll receive an email update with the newest listings. As you review these email updates, you'll be selecting the ones that best fit your dreams for a new home. As you find homes that fit your needs, I suggest for you to drive by these homes to confirm that the neighborhood and the location fit your desires. This will be step number 3. Please remember, these homes are all private property. Even bank-owned homes are not public property. Simply drive by. Do not walk the property or peer into the windows. Don't get yourself in trouble by trespassing. Once you've confirmed a list of homes that may fit your needs, you'll simply call me to schedule private showings. We'll call this step number 4. We can view one or multiple homes at a time. It's typical for a buyer to visit multiple homes before finding the right one. However, once the right home is located, it's important that time is not lost. Only view homes when you're able to write an offer. There is no reason to view a home if you're not in a position to place an offer on that day. Once you locate the home, it's important to move quickly. If you wait, some other buyer will likely find it worthy of purchasing as well, and you'll lose out on the home, and the time spent viewing homes will become a waste of time. Time management is important to everyone. There is no reason to start viewing homes until it's time to start writing an offer. If you want to view homes before you're ready to buy, I suggest visiting open houses. Be honest with the agents though that are on hand at the open houses. Tell them that you already have an agent and you're simply previewing the homes in the area. Keep in mind, if you ask an agent to schedule private showings for you, that same agent will be expecting you to actually be interested in buying a new home, not just act as a tour guide. You want to remain productive with everyone's time. Purchasing a home requires an offer to be accepted. Writing a lowball offer rarely works. It's not the best way to actually move into your new home. Homes are priced on the market by the use of a comparable market analysis. Properties are not priced with random numbers pulled from thin air. The best homes in any given price range will often sell quickly when priced correctly. Let's call writing the offer as step number 5. Most homes sell 2 to 3% of the listing price. Some may sell well below, of course, the listing price, while some actually sell above. Those that sell above the listing price are normally due to multiple offers on the most desired properties. One important thing to remember is, an offer that is higher than the appraised value will often require the seller to either concede to the appraised value or at least renegotiate the offer, confirming that the buyer will not pay over the current market value for their new home. Once an offer is accepted, it's time to exercise due diligence in all areas of the process. All documents, including any addendums, will need to be signed by all parties. Scheduling the home inspection must be done immediately. That will be step number 6. The lender will need copies of the purchase agreement, and the title companies will need copies of everything. The agents within the transaction will be working hard to make sure nothing is missed. Once the inspection is complete and the home's condition is accepted by the buyer, the lender schedules the appraisal. If there is an issue with the home inspection, renegotiations may be needed to keep the transaction moving forward. Remember, inspections will always create a honey-do list. Keeping small issues small and only concerning yourself with the structural or serious issues is important. No home is perfect, and if it were, the price would probably be much higher. The listing prices of homes are based on the home's current condition and position in the market. A home that is priced at $200,000 may be worth $220,000 if it had a new roof or an updated kitchen. However, offering to purchase the price for $200,000 and demanding a new roof or kitchen from the seller, or subtracting those values from the offer price, won't typically get the offer accepted. It's already priced for its current condition. As I mentioned, homes will typically sell between 2 to 3% of the listing price, or right at the full price. It may even sell for over full listing price if multiple offers are received. Often, the cost of the potential repairs have already been accounted for in the listing price. At this point, the offer has been accepted, the inspection is complete, and the appraisal, which is step number 7, should be wrapping up soon. The lender will become the most important player in the process now, working closely with the buyer's agents. The realtors on each side of the transaction will be working hard, verifying that all additional documents and addendums have been completed and any required repairs are done on the home, and verifying that the title companies are up to speed with scheduling and the creating of the documents for the closing. Before the closing, the buyer as well as the seller will need to contact utility companies to change the services over, including the gas, the electric, the water and sewer bills. This requires meter reading by each utility supply service company. It's in the best interest of the buyer to confirm it's done on a timely manner by making the calls themselves. If you need the utility company contact numbers, I can help you with that. Let's call that step number 8. All of this preparation just before the closing. Within the last 24 to 48 hours of the closing, the buyer will have an opportunity to visit the home to make sure there hasn't been any damage done since the home inspection, and any repairs that were potentially negotiated are now finished. As we near the final days, the lender will confirm that the underwriter has supplied the clear to close, which is the call to action for the final step of the process. Now we're heading to the actual closing. By now, 45 or so days have passed, sometimes even more, although cash offers will often close much faster. Mortgages take time due to the governmental regulations and the underwriting process. The underwriter is the actual entity that the lender works with to supply the physical money to the title company for the purchase. You'll learn more about the mortgage process from your lender. Okay, the closing has now finished. You'll now own your home. However, occupancy is a negotiable item. Some sellers may need time to move out after the closing. If the seller negotiated timeline for occupancy, you'll be receiving rent for their stay. It's known as a per diem fee based on a daily rate of your new PITI. This is calculated based on the new principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It may also include an incentive fee, such as an additional 5 to 10% above your PITI, just to keep the seller motivated to move out quickly in order not to pay so much in rent. After all, this is a daily fee. If the seller has negotiated occupancy days for after the closing, a key exchange will be needed for when the seller does actually move out. This is assigned and dated by all parties, and the title company will then pay out any escrow funds that were held over for the occupancy period. The buyer will receive payment for the number of days the seller occupied the home after the closing, and the seller will receive the balance of the escrow as part of their originally intended proceeds from the sale. Keys will either be supplied to the buyer at the closing or at some point during the key exchange process. At this point, the buyer is now moving in. So, what do you think? Do you have more questions? Or do you want to get started? I'm happy to discuss any thoughts or concerns that you may have, or if you like, may I suggest picking up a copy of my latest book, Finding New Neighbors, available online from Author House Publishing, as well as many other online sites such as Amazon.com or your local neighborhood bookstore. You may be in the market to sell your current home while you're looking for a new home. May I suggest viewing my real estate marketing presentation video on YouTube at Finding New Neighbors for a better understanding of what a seller will be going through. I look forward to hearing from you soon, so call or email me at the numbers on your screen. Let me know your criteria and your price range along with the areas that you're looking in. And let's get started at Finding New Neighbors.